Today is National Gun Violence Awareness Day, the start of a weekend of activism against gun violence. Demonstrators will wear orange as they gather across the country this weekend calling for prevention measures. The observance began in honor of Hydea Pendleton. The 15-year-old girl was killed by gunfire in Chicago in 2013. She died just a week after performing at former President Barack Obama's second inaugural parade. More than 18,000 lives have already been lost due to gun violence this year. Another 15,000 people were injured in shootings. That figure, which includes suicide numbers, is on pace to match the 43,000 gun violence deaths suffered last year. For more, I want to bring in Lance Williams, a professor of urban community studies at Northeastern Illinois University in Chicago. Lance, welcome. Great to have you with us. Can you help us better understand the trend of gun violence in the United States? How much of it is increasing and how much of it, is holding steady to the previous historical levels?
I think over the last 10 to 15 years, we've definitely seen a decrease, fortunately, in gun violence, homicides, gun-related homicides in the United States of America, particularly in larger cities like LA and New York. Chicago's homicide rates have decreased some, but kind of not to the degree that we have seen them in other comparable cities.
That is some good news. And of course, Chicago, where you are based, unfortunately saw a large increase in homicides last year, one of the deadliest years since the 90s. But, so far, 2021 is proving to be an exception to increasing trends, correct? As other large cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia are seeing homicides rise. So are the people of Chicago doing something to drive down gun violence, or what do you chalk it up to at this point?
Well, I think like all other places across the United States of America, Chicago is still reeling from the effects of COVID on homicides and shootings. We started off the year here at an elevated level. January was really high for us, but since then the rates have come down. I know in Chicago there's really been a concerted effort on behalf of the many violence prevention organizations. Really have ramped up their street outreach. Although still very much underfunded, I know these groups have been working together to address the problem. So I think that in my experience here is that I haven't seen outreach as ramped up and as active as it's been over the last few months.
So what measures overall do you see as effective, either from the government or from the citizens, to preventing gun violence?
Well, speaking for Chicago, I think again there has been a concerted effort, especially after last year's horrendous spike. I've just seen community groups. I wouldn't necessarily say government influence, although, we have had participation from City Hall here has really come up with an effective plan. However, the plan that City Hall put together did not come with resources to activate the plan. But I have seen folks in the community really organizing themselves to address violence. You have groups like Activists Inc., who has taken, leadership here in the city for organizing street outreach, where outreach workers, hospital responders are going out, engaging high-risk populations to make sure that they have what they need in order to kind of keep the violence down.
Is there any specific gun reform legislation that you think would be helpful, Professor Williams, that you would like to see passed?
Well, absolutely. I think everyone all across the United States of America is advocating for a stronger legislation to address, mass shootings all over the United States of America. So Yes, of course, I think that would contribute. But I think that, more than gun legislation, and not that it's not important, because it is, but we really need to deal with the conditions in these communities that have the highest rates of violence. They're really struggling with some very fundamental things: dysfunctional schools, inadequate housing. The virus, of course, is raging in these same places. And until we fix those things, I think we're going to continue to see, these increased levels of violence.
Professor Lance Williams, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.